For me, the hardest thing about brewing is understanding how what I do on brew day and in the fermentation process translates to what happens in the bottle. If I'm cooking a dish, I can add a spice, have a taste, and understand immediately how I'm sort of crafting the flavor of a dish. It's easy for me. As far as brewing goes, it's more of a process, and I think the more experience you get, the better you are at it and the better your results. This is my first ever homebrew. It's a porter. I brewed it with oak chips that had been soaked in, I fermented it with oak chips that had been soaked in Elijah Craig whiskey. It was a long fermentation. After I brewed this beer, and while it was still in the secondary, I brewed and bottled another beer. So this sat for a long time, aging. I had it about 4 weeks after I had bottled it, and I thought it was very imbalanced. It was very hot. It needed more time in the bottle. Other people tried it. They said it was great. Maybe I'm critical of my own stuff. But this is 3 months later. This bottle has been sitting in my garage, away from the sunlight. It's pretty good temperature control, etc. And this is the first time I'm going to be having this beer since it's been sitting around that long. I'm very curious to see how it turned out. First, we're going to listen. There's carbonation, so that's not bad. Here, let me take a pour here. Let's watch together. Oh, look at this. Wow, that's actual foam. Bubbles, look at that. Alright, so that's an actual head on the beer. So, if you look at that, that's about, I'm going to give myself a finger and a half on that. I have narrow fingers, but I'll take them. The smell is very malty. You can smell the oak and just a little faint hint of bourbon, which is a little bit of a different profile than it had before. It used to be very, very hot, very whiskey hot. All right, here goes nothing. That's really good. Wow. Bitter hop finish, which I usually don't prefer. It's a porter. The mouthfeel is a little bit light. Again, I'm a big barrel-aged stout fan, so this is a porter, so it's a little bit lighter. There's a nice malt complexity to it. There's a smoky oak to it. There's a little bit of a whiskey hit, which used to be a lot rougher, but has calmed down considerably. And there's sort of a very bitter hop finish, which makes me think that maybe this is over-hopped or I didn't get it off the boil quick enough. But all in all, this is a very drinkable beer, and I'm very happy that I have about 40 more of these in the garage. So, I guess patience pays off. My first ever homebrew actually turned out pretty good. I think I'll do this again.